you are going to want to hear what Mercedes Mone just said about Ronda Rousey, because I think it's interesting. It was short. It was not sweet, but it was definitely a jab. And that's why I wanted to talk about it in this video, because I think it opens up a much broader point. Now, look, Mercedes Mone, Ronda Rousey, they are in two different stages in their careers right now. You have Ronda Rousey, who she finished up with WWE last year at SummerSlam after a very weird run. You have Mercedes Mone, who left WWE in May of 2022 due to creative differences. She got her release from the company. She went to Japan. She did big things. She got injured. She was out from the middle of, June or whatever, May, June. Throughout the year, she ended up signing with AEW, reportedly in late 2023. She made her AEW debut on the Big Business episode of Dynamite, and she's been doing big business ever since. She's the current New Japan Strong Women's Champion. She's the current AEW TBS Champion. Ronda Rousey, let's talk about it. Very, very interesting career in WWE. Big star, MMA, UFC, just mega star, right? One of the weirdest and just abnormal falls of superstardom that I've ever seen, right? She went from the tippy top to flying all the way to Australia, getting head kicked into an oblivion by Holly Holm, right? Goes really weird because she could not accept defeat. Then just shows up to get a paycheck against Amanda Nunes, where she got absolutely just blitzed within a minute, right? And then she hops to WWE. Now, her first run with the company, I really liked. They did it right. From her showing up at the Royal Rumble, to her being paired with Kurt Angle, to having one of the greatest in-ring debut matches of all time, where she and Kurt Angle went over Triple H and Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania that year. And then she went on this long, dominant reign. And she was a babyface throughout it, and a lot of fans, they received her well because of how good she was in the ring. And she ran roughshod through the Raw roster. Had a long, dominant reign. But then fans started to turn on her. They turned her heel, thank God. She's a much better heel. And then she finished up at WrestleMania 35 in 2019 for returning, and had a very weird run in WWE, really from 2022 through 2023. She was on SmackDown. She was a heel. She was not the same character. I don't think she was invested in it the same way. She had come back from, she gave birth. She was a mother. She had different priorities. You could tell that she just wasn't all in. And she finished up in the summer of 2023 at SummerSlam. So that leads us to today's video. So Mercedes Mone, she's been making the media rounds a lot for AEW as of late, and she did a recent interview that, had fans talking and still does. So while appearing on Z100 New York, she was asked about a quick fire question. She was asked who she believes is more bitter nowadays, Ronda Rousey or Bret Hart. And she chose Rousey. Now, this is interesting because since Ronda has departed from the company, really in the last, I would say, 3 to 6 months, she's been really outspoken about WWE. Now, I want to say this. Bret Hart is known for being the most bitter wrestler in the history of the business because of Eric Bischoff and WCW and Vince McMahon and everything that went on in his career. Goldberg, I mean, he trashes this poor guy every single time he gets an opportunity, right? Goldberg made a really bad mistake. He's talked about how he has apologized so many times he doesn't know how to apologize any other way. And Bret Hart just won't forgive him, and that's fine. Ronda Rousey, she has bashed Vince McMahon, rightfully so. She has bashed John Laurinaitis, rightfully so, due to the horrific allegations. She has said positive things about Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, but outside of them two, she did not enjoy her time in the company. She didn't like the fans. She didn't like the travel. She didn't like any of that. She just liked to show up and wrestle. Kind of reminds you of like a Brock Lesnar-esque, where like he liked performing. He just didn't like dealing with fans, airport, management, everything like that. She is very, very bitter. I don't know what happened to her that made her so bitter. Look, it could be the trolls online, and it's like, girl, get off social media. It could be like, she doesn't like the management. I can understand that. It was a much different time and place. And because Ronda is so freaking bitter, I think I think two things could happen. One, because Triple H is in charge, he could convince her to come back and sell her on the point of like, look, things are much, much different. And I hope for her sake, she does return to WWE one day so she can experience what it's like to work under Triple H instead of Vince McMahon. Because whether it's fans, management, producers, employees, whoever, when it comes to actually working in the company, they say it's 100 times better than it was with Vince McMahon. And I fear that if Ronda never returns to the company, she will go down as the most bitter wrestler of all time because, like I said, she, outside Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, there is not a lot of positive things that she has had to say about the company. And that's unfortunate because, like I said, her first run was so good. Her second run, it sucked. Come back for a third. Do one match, one feud, right? Jade Cargill or Rhea Ripley. Or finally the Becky Lynch match. Now, I understand Becky's not under contract with the company anymore, but look, she's going to come back eventually. And when she does, I think it would make most sense for her to share the squared circle with Ronda Rousey. And I think it's fair to say we're never going to get a Monet-Rousey match again. Not just because Monet is in AEW. I also think Monet will eventually return to WWE. I think just for this comment alone, she ain't going to get that match. And I don't think she's going to lose much sleep regarding it. WrestleSTAR fam, a few news and notes here. First of all, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you are notified every single time we upload new wrestling content here to the channel. Also, if you would like to further support the channel and my family, please consider dropping some money on a membership, subscribing to that. You'll get additional content. There's a bunch of awesome perks out there, including members-only videos, which I highly recommend you go and check out. Also, if you are looking for some sweet pro wrestling merch, down in the description below, I have a link with some 2 sweet promo codes, including free shipping. All that information down in the description below. Thank you so much for changing my life, my family's life, and supporting the channel. And I will see y'all in the next video.